Lieutenant Governor Pam Evette of the great state of South Carolina, the Palmetto State, if I'm not mistaken.
The Palmetto State, absolutely.
How'd I do?
You did great.
Okay, good. Here we are at the Republican National Convention. I was just asking you about Nikki Haley.
Yes.
Obviously, her and Donald Trump had a contentious back and forth during the primaries. She got a little bit of traction in there, but she really did show up here. She was invited to come,
absolutely.
Released her delegates, and she's all in.
She is, and I think it was a great message, you know, the message that everybody's been trying to give, what I've been saying. You're never going to find somebody you agree with 100%. But as you said earlier, Ronald Reagan said it great. If somebody agrees with you 80% of the time, they're not 20% your enemy, right?
Absolutely right.
And so I think that was the message. It went out to her people, and I hope they're going to embrace it. What are their alternatives, right? Joe Biden?
Yeah.
If you stay home, you're voting for Joe Biden, and you're going to have 4 more years of failed economic policy. So come out.
No alternative there.
No alternative.
I think that we are in an inflection point. I was in Cleveland in 2016 for the convention, and the energy was good. 2020 was an off year for all those reasons. There's something different here, and it was different even before the attempted assassination.
Oh, yeah.
There is a moment in a lifetime where somebody can change everything. I think we're at that point. And I think Donald Trump's going to embrace this moment because he can embrace it with optimism. He never has to mention Joe Biden at all.
No.
We're all familiar with who he is.
Absolutely.
Everybody saw the debate, and they know. It's a chance to do, you mentioned Ronald Reagan before we came on.
Yes.
It's a chance for him to demonstrate a Reagan moment, a hopeful vision of America and the future and where we go from here. What do you say?
I say that's exactly right. And I think that's what people want to see. You know, my oldest is 28. They want to see what the future looks like for them because it's dismal right now, right? My grandparents were immigrants. You know, they came here around 1910 looking for the American dream, and that American dream under Joe Biden has gotten further and further away from our children.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what the younger generation wants to see. They want to see that hope for tomorrow. They want to see what his vision looks like, and I believe that's what he's going to give them on Thursday night. Under his policies, they're back living a prosperous life once again.
In talking about the future, we've seen a generational change already, and I say that when I refer to J.D. Vance. 39 years old, youngest since Richard Nixon got that nod when he was 39 years old in 1952. It's been 71 years. But it's a generational change, and he can connect with people because he was a never-Trump or an anti-Trump guy, raised in poverty, didn't like Donald Trump, and then said, wait a second. Donald Trump's right. I think that connects with young people in the important places like Virginia, Pennsylvania, Michigan, right here in Wisconsin. What do you think?
I think you're exactly right. I think I can talk about the American dream through the lens of my grandparents coming here searching for it, right? He can talk about the American dream through his own personal challenges in life, right? Grew up in an at-risk home
right.
with a mother who had substance abuse problems, a grandmother who believed in him,
stepped up,
joined the Marines.
Yep.
His story is compelling, and he reaches middle America, and I think he reaches small business people too, which people aren't really talking about. The business world is where I came from.
Right.
He understands what unfair trade practices look like and how it devastates business and how it devastates communities.
And boy, and first veteran to be on a ticket since John McCain. So it's been 16 years since that happened. Youngest since 1952, 71 years. And he scares the daylights out of the Democrats. I mean, I saw them going off the rails. I saw Van Jones have a near meltdown panic attack on CNN because this guy's generational. This guy's a true ideologue. He's a true believer. You know, he can go to Silicon Valley and they'll believe what he's saying.
Oh, yeah.
Really? The smartest people in the world will believe J.D. Vance. What does that tell you, Van?
Oh, yeah.
That we have a message that matters, and so we're going to see how that comes together. But I think you're right. He connects with real people in this country that have had real struggles and look at their grocery bill and say, Joe Biden's killing me.
Oh, yeah.
And they look at their utilities and say, Joe Biden's killing me. They look at their income and go, we're not getting anywhere. That's where J.D. Vance connects, and that's part of this message that I think is going to carry America in November.
I think so, too. I think you've hit it on the head. The younger generation has been looking for somebody that they can actually connect with, and J.D. Vance is going to do that for them. He can connect with so many different genres around the country, and I think he's a great add to the ticket. He polls very well. That's all everybody's saying is, like you said, in those big swing states, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin. He's already
in the new swing states of Minnesota, New Hampshire, New Mexico, and Virginia, which are all in play now.
I know.
I mean, what a testament. South Carolina's not in doubt.
No, we are a proud red state, and I think that's why we're like the #1 state in the country. Everybody wants to move to South Carolina. But we really want to help in those swing states. So that's why I've been telling everybody, you know, I was born in Ohio. You know, we have friends that live in other states. You got to call your friends. You got to call your friends. You got to tell them to get engaged. We got to talk to our young people, right? I mean, we got to get them engaged, and I think they're seeing it now. They've never had a chance. Well, we've never had a chance to look. Were you better 4 years ago than you are today? That's the number one question to ask yourself.
Yeah, you know, for me, I've been telling people for a while, you have to fight like a Democrat. You have to fight like a Democrat. What I mean by that is, you vote as early as you can legally. In Michigan, that's September for me. And then I go out and find people that believe like I do, but maybe they're low propensity voters. Maybe, you know, and you don't want to wait till election day because, oh, mom got sick, the kid stubbed his toe, whatever. You cannot be a million votes down in one state on election day and rally. You got to get out there, talk to young people, talk to people you know, talk to moms, talk to whoever, make it happen.
You have to go where people don't think like you, don't look like you, have different life experiences than you. And, you know, we've gotten that way. I speak at Girls State. It's a great group, you know, rising seniors in our state. And what I tell them is to always beware. Beware the person that comes to you and says, all the redheaded girls in one corner and all the brunettes in another, and then get the blondes over here. Because what they're telling you is everybody that's not standing with you is your enemy. And stop talking to those people. And we have to stop that. We have to go to the small towns where we think people don't think like us. And we got to give them our message because our resume is amazing. What President Trump did for this country, what he did for middle America, what he did for our at-risk communities was amazing. And we got to go to those communities and remind them. If only the Democrats go there. If we concede on education, that's a Democrat issue. If we concede on environment, oh, that's a Democrat issue. If we don't go to those rural towns where we think that Democrats are hiding, right?
Yeah.
Then the Democrats are going to keep them, and we can't do that. And we saw President Trump doing that, going to New York, going to those places.
And I told two of his handlers here in the last day, you know, he should do a rally in Chicago. Really should. They both get this little smirk on their face. I'm going to tell you, folks, he's doing the rally in Chicago. I'm reading the tea leaves here, but he goes to Philly. He goes to the Jersey Shore. He goes to New York.
Yep.
In Michigan, my state, first place he's headed after the assassination attempt. He's going there Saturday. Big emotional event there, I think.
Oh, I think so too. And wasn't it amazing in your state? President Biden went there for a rally. Gretchen Whitmer doesn't show up. You don't have their lieutenant governor. You don't have no
Gary
Democrats
Peters didn't show up. Debbie
right?
Stabenow didn't show up. The senators don't show up. The governor doesn't show up. Look, Bidenomics is toxic.
Oh, it's a failure.
And it doesn't matter if you're black or white, male or female, young or old. Bidenomics has killed, which is why I've got my daughter's 19. Her group of friends, they're all Trump people. 2 years ago, they were all left people. Yeah. They've all migrated over. And I will tell you, when he came up holding his fist up saying fight, changed a lot of minds.
So my youngest is 17. He's a rising senior, and he's known the president since he was 11. He actually fancies them friends. And he's the same way. Him and his friend base, they are true, staunch Trump supporters.
100%.
They just think that he walks on water, and it is. The younger generation looks at him with hope.
After what we just saw, Lieutenant Governor, I'm not convinced he doesn't.
I think you're right. I think, you know, I've been telling everybody over the past week, the president took a bullet for us. We need to fight all the way till November. And I think the Democrats are throwing out this message like, you know, we're done. We're done. President Trump has it in the bag, and it's to get those low propensity voters.